Good afternoon, and I do actually have a really great job today because I'm going to be giving y'all some great news. And as someone who has watched some of these projects in our program for a while and watched maintenance get deferred for years and years, this is just really exciting because we are going to actually gain ground on our roadway conditions and get some capital projects out the door, and it's going to be awesome. So, let me see if I can figure out the clicker here. So the immediate program goals, as Russell mentioned, is prioritize capital maintenance, our bridges on and off system, as well as moving things in for our capital program that are ready to go. Whoops. Russell touched on the budget increases, and this is our amended request for our FY16 budget, as well as the request for our FY17 budget. One thing I want to mention here, though, is that we need to keep in mind that this is not fast forward, this is not the federal stimulus, this is sustainable funding from now on. So we are really going to have a lot of work ahead to make sure that we ramp up. We've been feeding a pipeline that's this big and it's just gotten this big. And so we are doing that on the pre-construction and right-of-way side. And right now in the beginning of construction, we're going to be looking to advance a lot of capital maintenance as well as capital reconstruction projects that are ready to go. So our project forecast totals for remaining FY16, so this doesn't include what we've let and advertised up through the November letting. We have $840 million programmed for January through June, 345 projects. In FY17, it's $1.4 billion. 527 projects. To give you a little perspective, in FY15, our resurfacing budget was $80 million. In the remaining 6 months of FY16, we're going to let $336 million in resurfacing. And then in FY17, it's another $442 million in resurfacing. So that's just one category. That's a huge change. And that's really making up to the promise that was HB 170, which is gain ground on keeping our conditions in good shape. And it also includes some bridge bond money that the legislature provided for improving bridges in the state as well. We're still working to advance other projects into the program, so what this slide doesn't show is about $500 million in PE and right-of-way in each of those years so that we can advance other projects to get them ready. This slide right here tells a big story. If you look on the left side, you can see that on the track we were on, which was about $100 million a year in capital maintenance, in 2020, 62% of our roads would have been rated poor or below. By getting these additional funds and increasing our funding to at least $300 million a year annually, we are going to gain ground quickly and see an immediate improvement in our roadway conditions, and by 2020, 29% will be rated poor or below. So that's huge. So now I'm going to go through each district, and these are DOT districts, and I've got it broken down by the first 6 months, which is remaining FY16, this January to next June, and then the following July to December, and then January to June again. So we're looking at an 18-month snapshot, and we have it broken down by project type within that district. And one thing I want to make clear to y'all is that I'm going to be throwing a lot of numbers at you. All of this information is available on our website, these slides, as well as a detailed project list that you can look at to actually see the project. So don't feel like you have to write a bunch of stuff down. It's all going to be available for you as soon as this meeting's over. So in District 1, Northeast Georgia, some of the key projects that we'll be doing in the next 18 months are the widening of State Route 11, US 129 in Hall County. We'll be rebuilding interchanges at State Route 316, State Route 81, and building a new interchange at I-985 near Martin Road. We'll be doing guardrail upgrades on I-85 and I-985. And there's also a big enhancement project, the Tiger project for the downtown Dahlonega streetscape. In the District 2 project forecast, this is Middle Georgia on the east side, You can see that the total over the next 18 months, and let me go back to District 1, the total over the next 18 months is $284 million. In District 2, it's $207 million. This includes a lot of bridges, including a lot of local bridges, 10 county bridges. The widening of State Route 142 in Covington from I-20 to Alcovey Road, and resurfacing I-20 in Columbia County. That's a concrete rehab job. In District 3, $390 million. We're going to be building a new interchange at I-85 and Poplar Road. We'll be finally constructing I-75 at I-16, rebuilding the whole interchange, phases 1, 2, and 3. We'll be doing some sharp curve safety treatments in District 3. And we'll also be doing a big pavement marking job on I-85 in Coweta County. In District 4, Southwest Georgia, we're going to continue with the State Route 133 widening projects. We are going to build interchanges on I-75 in Lowndes County at Shiloh Road and Main Street. And we'll be resurfacing I-75 in Tift and Turner counties. $318 million in District 4. In District 5, we'll have a big bridge, the Islands Expressway over Wilmington River. We'll also be widening State Route 144 in Bryan County and resurfacing I-95 in Liberty County. $192 million in District 5. In District 6, $446 million in District 6. A lot of roadway projects up here that have been coming for a long time. Widening State Route 151 in Catoosa County. Widening State Route 140 and State Route 113 in Bartow County. Building the Rome bypass. Guardrail upgrades on I-20, I-75, I-24, and I-59. Concrete replacement project on I-20 in Carroll County, and resurfacing I-75 in Catoosa County. And District 7, $410 million. We have a roadway widening project, State Route 54 in Clayton County. We'll also be widening State Route 360, Macklin Road in Cobb County. We have a lot of signal upgrades and safety projects and ramp upgrades in District 7 as well. We'll be resurfacing the connector in downtown Atlanta, as well as resurfacing I-85 from the connector up to Jimmy Carter Boulevard. We will be also doing resurfacing on I-285 on the south side. If you notice, there's a big number in the TE bike for FY17 in District 7. That's because there is an Atlanta Beltline project. A lot of that funding is local funding, which reminds me that there's also the City of Atlanta will be ramping up on their bond program in the next couple of years. So there will be a lot of projects in Metro Atlanta funded through the City of Atlanta as well. We're moving towards doing a design build projects. We'll have about 5 of them, and these are for bridges, local off-system bridges. And this is a new way to do bridges for us. We are trying this for the first time. We held an industry forum last Thursday. About 75 people attended. However, the request for qualifications will not go out until February. If this is something you're interested in and you weren't aware of the industry forum last week, there's a website on this slide which you can easily go to that website and get information on the project, or call us and we will make sure that you have the information you need. But we'll be doing contracts with 3 to 5 projects per design build contract, and these are low impact bridges that require no right of way, very little environmental impacts, sort of a pull out, put back in situation. Some other construction initiatives that we are working on, one is e-construction. We were going to roll this out with the December letting. Now it will be with the January letting. Some select projects that we will have electronic signatures on the contracts. And by March, we will be doing electronic signatures on supplemental agreements as well. So this will be a very efficient way for us to move documents around, see where they are, track their progress and the timing, and this is a great benefit for all of us. Some other construction initiatives are that we are working with the State Utilities Office and State Construction Office to improve utility coordination and development of the schedules and make sure that we have the right information for the utility schedules and that they're given the right amount of time in the construction schedule. And we've also recently implemented an improvement to our project closeout process. For projects that are not on the National Highway System, we no longer require a material certification. It's just a little bit of time gained at the end in project closeout, so efficiencies all around. One thing I want to end with is that our Transportation Board passed a resolution last spring that made it clear that for whatever state funds the state receives with Transportation Funding Act of 2015, that we are committed to a DBE program for state-funded projects. At this time, the disparity study for state-funded project is still underway, but when the time comes and we are letting projects in the spring, they will have DBE goals based on the disparity study for state-funded projects. Some things that are a little different with state-funded projects is that they don't require some of the federal requirements, such as there's an EEO federal aid certification. That will not be in the state contracts. However, we still follow state law for EEO. We also will not have the form number 1273, which has all of the federal contract provisions, and there will not be a Buy America clause.